the game, I suspect, for some of these players. Grab a pistol, grab whatever you're lucky enough to find in these compounds, get a vehicle, and then just go from there and try to chase down those crates. So this could be pretty fun. I think there's going to be a lot of players uh, kind of crisscrossing each other, driving all over the place, trying to get to those crates first. So you can see already that some of our players looking at those vehicles already. Crutch is in one, and he is on the hunt. First circle, kind of center, and those red zones are going to be really precarious. Those are very dangerous. Those are insta knocks if you get hit by them.
Yeah, absolutely. The circle kind of going in the middle. There's lots of options that it could go, but I'm kind of curious. Will we see a shelter finish? Because that could be kind of interesting with the red zones and the way that that'll play. There's 4 entrances to the shelter and 4 exits to the shelter, so you could see a lot of action or a lot of
Igual que
camping.
se
Do
supone
you
que
make
cae
the
los
play to
drops,
go
¿no?
down there, especially if there's a red zone in that area, or do you try to be above and take the gamble on there, or just play an entrance, kind of hold it? There's a lot of options, but I think, like you said, people are just going to fan out. You can see how scarce the loot is right now. People just looking for pretty much anything, even a tier 1, this and that. But you'll probably see people fan out a little bit to just try to divide and conquer on the items that they're looking for here. And then immediately, as soon as they have something to work with, I imagine everybody's going to start yoinking some vehicles and moving forward and looking for those crates, because the crates are going to not only give you some tier 3s, it's going to give you the ghillie suit, and it's going to give you some nice weapons as well.
Yeah, the weapons are going to be huge here for sure. As you can just see, Dusamir's gone through quite a bit of loot. He already has quite a bit of utility, but no gun to speak of just yet. Maybe we'll get to see some punch-out kills in this game. I feel like that's definitely a distinct possibility. So I always hope for those. I like a little boxing match. You're a hockey fan. You like it when they throw down the gloves.
Hey, sometimes you just gotta let them know that you're there, and put the pressure on them. And I think what you might see in this too, if I was placing this, I would try to get that early crate. And if you do, go on the offensive. Go on the offensive, immediately search out the teams, get those elim kills. Not everybody's going to be able to snag a crate right off the get-go. Sure, there is, say, 5 times crate drops, but still, I feel that you're putting a bit of an advantage, especially early on, I would say, to go on the offensive and try to get those kills. Still sitting at 64 players in the lobby, so nobody's been knocked yet. Still on phase 1, 340 to go, and people just trying to get a little bit of something to work with and then jump into those vehicles and hunt for those crates.
Well, at least we found a micro Uzi. That is something. And honestly, if somebody crashes you, this is a great gun to have. So not a bad pickup, I suppose, all things considered, with what we've seen so far from the player's perspective.
No, like you said, like right in the beginning here, you're just wanting anything. Anything feels like a W. You feel a lot stronger. You're not going to have to go into the Mike Tyson punch out from the 90s. You're going to have a bit of girth to your fight here. So, even a pistol is really strong in this situation. So you're going to see a little bit of movement here on a few different POIs, and you're going to probably see a lot of these teams look into the sky, especially when you start to hear those planes come through.
Yeah, for sure. Out of all the pistols, the 1911, definitely one I'm a fan of. The Desert Eagle, pretty good as well, but it packs a punch. So if somebody's coming at you, you're going to have a decent opportunity, as Yasnaya Palanya is with Sheaf GG having a good go of things so far here. I think they're in third place. Yeah, third place so far. So looking to just kind of get as much as they can before those crates start coming through, and they have to start challenging potentially for those. Or you could opt to play this super safe. I feel like if you're able to just kind of play compound to compound, maybe you pick up one of those micro Uzis or a shotgun or something. You can just kind of lock it down and not have to worry about those crates as much, unless you're gifted some.
Yeah, I can't help but feel the first person with a strong DMR here is going to go to town. They're going to be able to really just put an insurmountable amount of pressure on some of the other teams here. But again, the red zones have started. We got the first circle showing. We got that moving in about 1 minute and 40 seconds. And we're going to have this plane. When does the first plane come, Hipperson?
Well, it depends. They're random. The loot planes are actually random, and I believe they have to drop inside of the zone of like the timing of when they come out. So it just all kind of depends. So we'll see exactly how that one, shapes out. I think they could come basically at any time. It just is, I'm pretty sure, completely random unless they change the settings. But yeah, so it could be interesting. But I think they just come a little bit. When they do come, they drop a lot, like a lot of crates.
Yeah, with the 5-time drop rate there, how many crates do you think we might see on these flight paths?
Oh, it's a good question. So in this game, they can drop 2 crates per plane potentially, normally.
Wow.
So you could see what 10 crates per
Yeah.
plane if I my math is correct. And there'll be, I think we're guaranteed a crate in the center circle. If the information I'm being fed here. Yeah. So the Halifax has already picked one up, according to our producers here helping us out, giving me a little bit of information.
Mhm.
So this is, I don't know, man. This is it's gonna be nuts. But yeah, I mean, I guess in theory, if it works the way I think it does, you're gonna see like 10 crates potentially per plane.
Phew. Yeah, and I think it's a question of if you get one of these crates, do you make a super soldier or do you kind of spread out the loot? I would imagine you would almost go the super soldier route. Just get that one guy fully outfitted to give you that bit of meat in your team, so to speak. And you'll notice that a lot of these crates here are going to have the Tommy gun. Is that right?
Yeah, so because it's classic Erangel, the Tommy gun can be one of the crate guns again. So that's pretty fun. Just kind of a throwback.
Hmm.
Obviously not maybe the best gun, but still, it's in this game mode. I think you'd take it for sure.
Oh, 100%. It's super strong in that, especially better than maybe an Uzi, depending on the player. I don't know. Uzis are pretty strong when they're fully kitted.
Yes, I am a micro Uzi enjoyer. You can definitely give me one of those, and if it's going to be an up close and personal battle, I am perfectly fine using it. I like the SMGs in general. I like the ump a lot, so you give me those guns, and I'm not going to complain.
You just
Yeah, it
play
looks like
around.
Taxi picked up a DMR killer with the MK12, I think it was. And that's kind of what I was mentioning. I think DMRs are going to be super strong here if you're able to get one early and start that initial pressure. I think for the most part, most people are
Okay,
scrambling
going
for
to
loot
that
right
left.
now, but that DMR doing a bit of work. Down to 60 players here. Looks like we got Terran here going on a bit of a scout to figure out where they might want to go next.
Yeah, she's got 2 AKs. That's not a bad
Oh,
setup
I
at
just
all.
noticed actually down to only Terran.
Oh, really? Already? I didn't catch that in the left-hand corner of the screen there. There is a bolt though for Shinboy and an AK to back it up. So our players are starting to accumulate some guns, and there's a mini 14, those DMRs you've been talking about, starting to do some damage, and players are slowly but surely acquiring some loot. All right, watch this plane for me, Shinboy. I need to know how many crates are actually going to drop out of this.
This plane is kind of flying over us now.
Yeah, this is going to be
Oh, I see it.
the information on whether or not they want to actually move for it. They're trying to look for one that's close, but it doesn't seem like there is, unless there was a bit of a blind spot on the one side here. Choco Taco still with the 4 teammates. One got knocked down. Looks like there was under a little bit of pressure. They're inside the circle. The smoke goes out for a clean res and a med up all the way. They might fan out a little bit after this. Looks like they got about 2-3 cars in their in their toolkit here. They're taking some shots. Gonna have to relocate there. They're just splitting up there on the 2-2, going on the scout, seeing where they can go to kind of get situated in a bit of a foundation built again.
Yeah, this is a tough spot for them, taking some long range fire, I think, from the hillside of Stalber Mountain, but looks like they're going to be able to safely get away eventually. I mean, the good news is in this format is heals and other things don't seem to be limited, so at least you got those available. But they lost the tire, makes that car a little bit more difficult to drive for sure. Back over to Terran's team, and yeah, you're right, just C-Dome left, the only one alive, but he's at least got some stuff. There's some big kills coming through here for Dusamir. There's a full auto VSS. You'll love to see it.
Yeah, VSS is a fun gun to play with. It may not be the strongest one, but it feels really nice when you get a kill. You can single click it and control it pretty strong. The burst is incredibly powerful as well. It almost feels like an SMG, like I said. And right there proving why, getting a couple of kills. But it does look like he's shifting it up, going for the barrel, and we'll have to see what he picks for his second gun here. And he's already kitted with the tier 3 helmet and chest we can see, and he's got the tier 2 backpack there for the protection.
Well, yeah, he's just like looking for a DMR. I think he
I
found one.
think,
There's the
yeah, there
Mark
it is,
12.
the
There you go.
MK12. Yeah,
I'm like, he's not
MK12, just
dropping
so
that.
strong.
Yeah, it's so good, dude. I'm like, you're not dropping that VSS unless you know there's another DMR out there, like 100% in this game mode.
Yeah, they just took out that couple of players there. I think there was about 3 players there, so they got a lot of loot to pull from, and that's just it. The beginning is going to be a little bit scarce, but as it goes on, the loot boxes here are going to start compounding, and everybody's going to be pretty loaded, and we're going to see a lot of tier 3s, a lot of tier 3 helmets, tier 3 chest. I don't know the exact math, maybe you can help me with it, but the different grades of armor actually reduce damage taken by a certain percent. I believe it's like 35, 45, 55 or something like that.
Yeah, something around that. Yeah, that's correct. So each tier up just gives you that extra moment of survivability, and like so for example, like one of the most extreme cases, right, if you have a level 2 helmet, you will die to a headshot from a Kar 98, but if you have a level 3 helmet, you won't, right? Or so those kind of things do make a huge difference in this game. Time to kill is one of the most important factors in PUBG, so you love having those level 3s just to give you that extra bullet of survivability to your opponent, and maybe win that fight where normally if you had the same gear you might not.
Yeah, no, well said. It's even if you survive with 1 HP, it's 1 HP. That can be the tide turner there. So the tier 3s are going to play a huge factor in there. It does look like Team Terran is just going to be easy breezy. They're just going to hang out, chill. They don't have to press anything. He's just going to post up in this house. We got Corky here with a full squad. The blue circle is kind of close. They're going to have to relocate, or thinking about it here soon. Looks like they might be looking around for a team. I'm not 100% sure if they know that they have any pressure on them, but otherwise they're in a good position here. All 4 squad members up. It looks like they're pretty decently kitted with their guns here, and they're happy with it. And here's the difference. The last map you can't really play the blue zone at all, but this one you can. So even if you need a little bit of extra time, you need to go find another set of wheels, whatever it may be. And it looks like their teammates coming in there with the car now, but you get that time. You don't have to press a play. You don't have to rush unnecessarily.
No, yeah, absolutely. I think the only thing they might be lacking there was ammo, and I think looking to scoop up a little bit more, but it's going to be hard to find it with the reduced weapon rate, which means there's going to be less bullets that are going to be just spawning in general. However, Matthias, he's got plenty of bullets for his Mark 12. Got a decent clip behind him there, and now he is looking try to put some pressure on the opponents that are across the road from him. This compound is separated a bit, so sometimes you'll see 2 teams just kind of have a gentleman's agreement where they're not going to pressure each other too much. Maybe they'll trade some DMR shots, but it's a little bit tricky to cross some of that open space between these 2 compounds.
We need.
I like how Dara there had the little shortcut key menu on the right still there. Just having it up on his screen. Just rolling with it, whatever.
Our car's kind of toasty.
We'll have to see what Corky decides to do here. It looks like they're still trying to relocate, doing a 5-point turn through a little hole here, and it looks like they made it, and they're on their way.
Yeah, so considering some options, seeing what he wants to change, I'm actually kind of curious. Oh, he's thinking about changing his heal items. But the red zones, so you want to get indoors during those red zones. The explosions cannot go through ceilings and other things, so being in a covered building will protect you from the red zone explosions. Just got to be careful about maybe standing too close to a door or something, but otherwise you're okay, and you just got to hope that also that the red zone doesn't blow up your car.
Yeah, they kind of were mentioning that in the comms right there about the car, and that's where the garages would come into play. And I'm looking at this circle right now, and can we have it a final circle in Pachinki? That would be a dream here for me, because I love those city finishes. I think they're so exciting to watch, and a lot of navigation and strategy moving along the different houses, and especially with utility, grenades through the windows, the BZ grenades creating pressure. And I hope we see something like that. It looks like roly-poly here, down to 1 player, trying to not get knocked out here. You got the Team Roly here looking in anticipation. I believe he's just watching.
Yeah, I might go smoke Bloomer and grab his ammo though.
Yeah, it's hard to
Car
say
just
for
pulled up to
sure.
the house.
They know there's pressure around them. It might be Shinboy's team. I'm not exactly confident in that position. Oh, Dara JN as well, near this road that's on the side of the mountain. In esports, we call this death road because like just teams just end up fighting around it and dying all the time. So it's a tricky position to navigate, especially with the circle moving away. I mean, I'm hoping that the PUBG gods heard you, my friend, and that we do get the city circle finish. That would be nice. I'd be down with that.
Yeah, especially with next map going into a field finish with the demo derby. That's what we have to look forward to next map. Really excited about that too. But if we can get a city finish on this one, that'll be again a chef's kiss to just the overall competitive gameplay and the different variety of map modes that we've had here. It would be a pretty cool treat to see, and you can see that they're actually just outside Pachinki here on the southeast side. I'm surprised that they're not moving in. It does look like one of their team members there, who is looking to do a bit of scouting, so if they can move through, but they're gonna have a lot of pressure from teams around, and I don't know, I wouldn't stay in this this little hut for too long. They do seem to be picking up a couple of kills here, and it looks like they're in a bad spot with the Dacia.
Yeah, they've caught a team trying to kind of skirt around them, and their superb shooting has opened up some damage and some kills for them. Looking to see if they can convert a few more long-range shooting now, though. Gets more and more difficult. Looks like the opposing team will find their way into Pachinki. But yeah, this is just more of a pivot position here, I believe, for Mendo. Just kind of controlling some space, trying to keep teams pinned into Pachinki, you know, kind of gambling that the circle might move away from Pachinki despite our wishes. And just seeing if they can harass everybody around them.
Yeah, they're getting a bit of pressure in multiple locations here. They managed to pick one kill up on the Carter, the Dacia that was kind of crossing them, and we're moving on into Team Mendo here. Taxi, he was the scout with Poo, I believe, as well. So they're just hanging out here, giving some intel to let the team know when they're going to push. And unfortunately, the circle just outside Pachinki. I was hoping that it would go a little northwest there, because that would have been a fun finish.
Yeah, we're not going to get that city finish that we hope for, but this should be a little bit interesting. There's a lot of fields out here. Of course, if you're a current PUBG player, this field looks very, very different, as there's trenches and all kinds of other stuff going on inside of it. But this is just the old school one, so looking a little bit different this time around, as players are getting knocked off screen, and Team Shroud on the edge. They've got a decent opportunity here to maybe do some damage in this game, but there's still 44 players alive as we're getting down to phase 5. I mean, this has been another game where players are just surviving, because I think part of it is just throwing a lot of guns out there. That's a great shot though from Vegas. He is nuts with the bolts.
Yeah, everybody playing the patient game, not pressing the play. Thought we might see a little bit more action early on some of the maps, but everybody playing intelligently. And it looks like a lot of pressure here coming out into the shack. There's a big play out in the middle of the field here, and Mendo is still holding that spot that they were originally in. I thought it might be a bad play, but it's really paying off for them, especially on that circle. It was a great point to just hold and wait to see where that next circle went. They were in there and safe, and they're still good. And he managed to get knocked down by Roth. FPS. We'll see. They should be able to easily pick him back up and get back to 100%. And here we go. We got Team Sheaf. Vegas making a play into the blue circle. There's lots of hills here, but it kind of goes down into a valley, like you said, and there's not much cover other than some trees, and depending on how this next circle goes, you might be in a bad spot. Lots of people dying here, down to 36 players, about 11 just knocked off on the overall alive list.
Yeah, right now, Vegas is just trying to wait this out as long as he can. He's going to chew through all these meds to try and get placement points. This is kind of veteran PUBG player experience here, knowing that he's in a spot where, like you were saying, if he goes down that hill, he's just dead anyway. Might as well just try and survive as long as possible. Let all these teams fight it out, see how high up the leaderboard he can get for positioning potentially. over to Dusamir. Looking to get towards this eastern edge, try to find some way into this next circle.
nice knock.
Good shooting there. That
Nice
is
knock.
fantastic. Saw the helmet pop off and everything.
Yeah, that MK12, man, going to work again. Keep mentioning it. They're going to use their util now. Big BZ grenade. I think that's going to flush them out. If anything, they're in a pretty good position. Still, all 4 teammates alive and well, except for, it's a little hard to see, but blue there, number 3, taking a bit of damage, but it does seem like you got a first aid off, and there it is, another knock. Going for the 3rd. Will he be able to take that down? Just misses it on the street cross, but he's going to press this immediately, which I think is the right play. He's looking for a full team knock. We'll have to see whether or not he's able to get it. He is looking underneath the vehicle there, and he does get the thirst, but still looking for that last play on the shield. A little bit back and forth spam. He's going to get some help by his teammate, but he gets flanked by an entirely new team.
Oh, this is so smart. Third partying is so effective, and poor Pome was doing so much work there, but just not enough in time before another team came and struck them in the back. Mendo trying to go for reses. Nope, not having any of it. It's simply Matthias. He's going to rock on in there and roll them out of this lobby. Teams on the southern edge. This is a really good position here for Team Skipino. This is a nice spot to have in this circle. You've got the edge, you've got a little bit of cover to work with.
Yeah, they chose right next to a little bit of a hill lip. They got the 2 shields down, they got the vehicle, they got trees, they got everything that they could. They got their back to the blue. They're in a great position. They just need to make sure that they don't get skirted by this west end, which is what Skip is doing right now. Just taking a look, easy breezy. They're just going to look for those knocks and try to keep that pressure. This circle is in. They got a ton of time to work with. They're probably still about a full couple of minutes before they even have to make a decision here. And it looks like Dara's under a bit of pressure here by himself out in a bit of a field. His teammate in the blue zone trying to get on in and give him a bit of support, but this is where things get hairy. Down to 13 players. Amazing spray there across the field, and he's going to utilize this rock. Now this blue damage is going to start to blue zone, sorry, it's going to start to do a lot of damage, and there it is. He almost got off his first aid, but it wasn't enough.
Yeah, couldn't quite heal through it in time. Did what he could. The AWM out in the open, not able to find the knock in time. Trying to get that point is an Anarchy. Sorry if I said that wrong, but Anarchy maybe. Actually, that's probably
No, that makes sense. Yeah.
Now,
sometimes you need to sound it out, man, you know? And there it is. There it is. Skip, great job. Team Skip with the W, and the energy is electric. He's hyped about that one.
He is not the only one hyped, I will say, as we round out that 5th and up to the 6th match here today, gang. First of all, welcome if you are just joining us. Twitch Rivals, we have the PUBG Battlegrounds OG Battle Royale tournament. I got Paper Thin, I got Zegers, who, by the way, ladies and gents, have been doing an incredible job casting. So big hands in chat for these two, getting us in the know. Speaking of things we know, 5 matches up, 1 left to go. Paper Thin, we have seen some incredible gameplay. Let's real quick talk about IGLs, because there's been a couple that I definitely think would be useful for us to take note of. Roth seemingly one of them. Talk to me about any of those IGLs that we have been seeing that maybe people could emulate in their own gameplay that they can look at as pretty good leaders here.
Yeah, there's so much going on in PUBG. I mean, being an IGL is in PUBG competitively is one of the hardest things to do in all of esports. I think you have to know so much about the game. You have to understand every situation. You have to be able to then direct traffic with your teammates, make accurate call outs, get onto the mini map. You can see you make the waypoints to kind of tell your team where to go and things like that. So really it's just about understanding the game, being very vocal, being, you know, short but to the point, things like that. So important. So Roth, one of the best in the business. He's been doing it for years. He's a fantastic player. So really happy to see him getting kind of a little bit of extra love here on camera.
Yes, indeed. I mean, listen, it takes a village, certainly, but I will totally agree with you. IGLs, especially in Battle Royale, who have to deal with the sheer chaos. Let's just be clear, sheer chaos, and be able to not only be cool, calm, and collected, but also vocalize that cool, calm, and collectedness. Very good indeed. Well, chat, our friends at State Farm, they need your help selecting the perfect moment for us to shine a bright light on during today's State Farm Spotlight. Check out the poll now and choose the one you'd like us to break down later in the show. Well, speaking of breaks, we've got one right now because we've got our final match, match number 6, coming up right after this. Farm Spotlight, where we shine a bright light on something special from today's action. Chat, earlier in the show, you selected Summit's Slide, and that is going to be this segment's clip. And now it's time to light it up. Let's see the perfect slide. Here we go, fellas.
Oh, a car slide. I like it.
I will say that's not a slide. That's a drift.
Nice little
Oh,
drift.
no. And then he got shot out of the car.
Perfect angle for Chaco. Just, what's up, man? How's it going, bro?
Oh. In this building on the left, I think.
Pushing me.
Wow.
Get the frick in, ride or die. I'm going.
Nice job, Chaco.
0 points.
All right, that's
I love it. He's like, I'm
Turn
going.
engine off, going green building, green building, green building, green building, green building. I'm dead, I'm
This is
dead.
amazing. Oh, and he
Yeah,
looks to the window.
there.
Perfect angle for that guy. I
Staring
slid at
into
the
the face of
perfect
death there.
angle for Chaco. Just, what's up, man? How's it going, bro?
Like how animated
Oh
it
my
is.
god. That was brilliant. And I think, by the way, that was excellent on all fronts. Now, before we get back to the gameplay, let's shine one more quick spotlight on our friends at State Farm. Whether in-game or in real life, State Farm is on your level. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Oh man. You know what I love about that clip? Wasn't just the drift in the car perfectly timed to the knock. It was also what he did in real life. That was just perfectly choreographed. You know what? Well done, Summit. You might not be at the top of the leaderboard during this tournament, but GG's all around. Let's take a look at that leaderboard, by the way, and see just how far up or down our players have become, our teams here. Okay, paper thin. We're looking at Team Cat. Oh my gosh. This is about the time in Kate's day when she stops being able to pronounce letters.
You need more of that Dunkin' coffee, right?
I so do. You're not wrong. Team Cat. Yep. Paper thin. You should say.
I got it. Yep. No, Cat Conti, 8 points ahead. So positioning could be pretty important in this one. I'm kind of curious if her team might take it kind of slow and just try to wait this out, just try to feel it out, see if they can get some position points, because it's going to take some kills for Terran and Dusamir to catch up. I imagine that it's going to be pretty difficult for teams like Sheaf and Mendo to catch up, but I have no idea what to expect in this final one. Like, I don't know how hard it's going to be to get kills. I don't know how hard it's going to be to get placements. It is going to be absolutely nuts.
Absolutely. And Zegers, let's take a look at that. As we take a look at the second page, obviously top 8 doing great. Everybody gets something, but there it is, the bottom 8. And I think, you know, what these 8 seem to be going for, it seems like to me, is better placement. Just these last little moments, these every single kill counts.
Yeah, you know, I think if I was positioned in here, I would just throw it all on the field. You know, go for it. Go for it, go for it, go for it. Try to get those multi-kills if you can. Throw some grenades onto the vehicles, maybe get a molly or something like that, who knows, but just go for it. You know, you want to make those big moves. You go for the breadwinner at the end there, and we'll just see what happens. Don't play it safe, just go full send.
No. Yeah, and you know what? I gotta say, this is the kind, I mean, I know that being under the bright lights and, you know, going for actual monies, that's a huge deal, and these players have done an incredible job grinding through our entire tournament, but paper thin, God help me, I just want something crazy at the end here, and luckily for us, this mode will deliver.
No, I think this is going to be absolutely nuts. I mean, I have no idea how this is going to play out. I don't know exactly how teams are going to approach this or attack this. I mean, just throwing, you know, grenades from cars, there's going to be explosions all over the place. Maybe that's the best I got. It's going to be absolutely nuts. It's because it's going to be hard to, you know, get kills in this one. You're going to have to really earn it and, you know, maybe spin people out and throw a molly on their car, something like that. Anything's possible. I mean, the other thing to keep in mind is there are crossbows in this one, so you can shoot people out of cars with crossbows. It's extremely difficult, but you can do it.
Well, that, you know, listen, challenge accepted, I suppose, and please, someone in the lobby do that, because I would love to see it. And we will not have to wait very long for our last and final match. Match number 6 starts right now.
I mean, yeah, it's based RNG.
Wait, hold on.
know.
Let's see what Kat has to say.
Oh, I guess it's because it's hosted in normal mode and they just
Is it RNG? She's debating
Wait, is that
how
why my
much they
Xbox
have to
shot
play
so
for
straight
this. I'm
earlier?
super curious
That's
about this
crazy.
as we go into the 6th map here. Paper Thin and Zeger is going to be bringing you this final game of absolute madness, absolute chaos. It's a demolition derby. There are cars, throwables, crossbows, melee weapons.
I don't see anybody though.
That's about all you got to work with.
We're good.
Yeah, we're gonna have no crates. We're gonna have a blue circle in the field
I
finish,
have a buggy.
so it'll be nice and open for that demo derby. I can't wait to see what's going to happen towards the end, if we're going to actually see a little bit of Demolition Derby,
Yeah,
or
I'm
if
gonna
we're
grab
going
my
to see those
Pubg.
drive-by crossbows, maybe a pan kill, maybe someone will huck it out a window. That would be pretty funny
Wait,
to
do you
see
think? Oh, you said
if
there's no
that
crates, right? So we can't
managed to
even
get
get
hit.
a
But,
BRDM.
you know, we're going to see a lot of vehicles, and, you know, the damage is going to go out over a period of time, and we might even see some chain explosions on the vehicles towards the end. You got to be kind of smart. You might strategically split up your team. You know, you might have 3 players in some vehicles. Maybe you have one squirreled out to the side trying to take some picks off with some crossbows. You know, maybe play a little bit of position in that situation. You know, Cat Condi is sending pretty comfortable. I think he said 8 points there up on the second. So they got a little bit of wiggle room. And I think for most of the other teams there, we'll have to see how they decide to play this out.
Yeah, I mean, you could convince me of a lot of different outcomes in this one. Oh, spike traps are that's actually really interesting. You can throw those on the ground and it'll pop the tires of the cars behind you and potentially spin them out. So there's actually some plays you can do with that. And I'm fairly certain you can put a spike trap out while you're in a car, if I remember right, but I haven't used one in quite some time. You don't really often see them find much value, but this game mode, hey, definitely worth a try.
Yeah, the only map in the third person perspective, as you can see. It seems like some opting in for that first person. You get that choice, although the mode is there. You do get the choice by hitting a hotkey to go first person. People play in first person for so long that they're so used to it, and that's their comfortable zone. And we'll probably see that being toggled when you get into the vehicles, because I think that is probably the area that you lack the most, or maybe you're playing a little bit of a fight on a corner or something to that degree. But I think with the spike traps being in the game, I think they're just going to be riddled in these final circles. And it looks like the first circle here on the northern end between the 2 different halves there, the middle half and the top half. So we'll have to kind of see. I don't think too many teams will make some aggressive relocations or anything in that regard. I think they'll kind of see where the next circle goes to be before they make a decision. And it looks like we've already lost one. I missed it on the kill feed and as to who that was.
Maybe somebody got run over in the early part of the game trying to contest for vehicles or something. Yeah, I missed it too. So who knows what happened there, but regardless, it's just going to be insane. I mean, it's just going to come down to who can outdrive who. Maybe, we got the crossbow. That's huge.
There it is.
For Terran. I mean, look, if you hit with the crossbow, it hits hard. It's just very slow to reload, and the bullets, it's not a bullet. The bolt speed is pretty low, so very difficult to use from vehicles.
Yeah, I think you might see some people just take a solo vehicle and just change seats and take the pop shot when they need to, and then just go into the reload or something like that. We could see some plays from the cars from that, but the crossbow is going to be a big play here. If you can kind of get that early knockdown, that puts you in a huge advantage, especially out in the field, and especially with the cars being dominant. You're going to want to make sure to finish your kill, because even if you knock someone in the field, someone could be cruising by and just take that opportunity to finish and thirst that out.
Oh, he took the helmet off. He's getting serious now. It's serious mode for Dusamir, man. It's getting pretty sweaty for sure. And he's got the vest on and everything, so I don't know, man. Let's see if he can get his team and get them caught up to first place. They're quite a bit behind, so I think it's going to be tough to accumulate a lot of kills in this game mode.
Yeah,
it feels like it's going to be challenging.
Yeah, I think they're gonna come a little bit more unorthodox. You know, I hope to see like a throwable kill, like from the melee weapons. We saw the attempts a little bit earlier there with the pan, and you see a lot of people going with the machete. I'm sure they'll pick up pans as well, but that would be kind of cool to see from one of the throwables on the melee side. But again, you're going to have a lot of util, probably a lot of people looking for the firepower. I mean, smokes are going to come into play, but I think people are going to focus on that a tiny bit less in this one. You're going to want that firepower. Like you said, kills are going to come a little bit harder in this map. And I think having those extra grenades, and again, we spoke about it earlier in the broadcast, the grenades are extremely heavy at some point. I'm not sure when, but they did increase in weight. So that means that you can actually hold less than you could back in the day. Now, I don't know if that's adjusted for this map. I don't think it is, but I could be wrong. But you can even see, I think he was holding like 5 grenades there.
Yeah, no doubt. You're going to want to stack up the frag grenades for sure. I'm Now that I'm starting to like think about this in my head, Zegers, I think this is going to come down to like a final circle. There's going to be about 15
Oh.
cars piled up in the middle of the final circle, and they're all just going to be like jockeying for position towards the center, and then the grenades and stuff are just going to start flying. I think it's going to be absolute madness in that last circle.
Yeah, we saw the play last round with the C4 on the vehicle, and I'm just noticing here C-Dome does in fact have a C4 on him, so I think C4s are going to be a massive play in this, especially towards the end. You can play the car kind of like we saw, which map was that? Vikendi, I believe it was, with trying to finish out that last kill. So I think we're going to see another few of those plays. I would imagine anybody that comes by a C4, they're going to probably take it.
Oh God, yes. You could save that for the end game, and I mean this game could literally end on a C4 killing everybody in the final circle,
It really
including
could.
the player who threw it. I mean,
Yeah, you're gonna have some blue zone rides and just some suicide cars there, just throwing them in there with the C4s.
I absolutely feel that way. Well, we'll find out when we get there. We still have quite a while to go before that final circle. Is everybody's just so right now? Bunt Streams here is just looking at the top of those containers to see if there's any frag grenades on top of them or any other pieces of util that he might want. Going to gas up as well to get this US a little bit more gas. That's actually something that's going to be huge. Is having extra gas cans to make sure you have enough gas to drive your way through the rest of this game.
Yeah, I like that he put it in there right away. Just get it over and done with. It was a little bit lower. Every car, I think, starts with a different set amount of gas. Is that right?
It depends. So it's random, and it can be anywhere from a full tank to like a quarter tank, I think, in the normal game mode.
Right. Yeah, so using that gas can, that was pretty forward thinking to bring one in, and he was looking for the UAZ there rather than the two-seater that he had. So that's probably going to be the vehicle of choice for the most part, I would imagine. Also has the trunk, so you can store something in there, extra gas, extra bolts if you wanted to. But kind of a slow roll here to start. We're down to 62 players. The zone is starting to come in on phase 1. 3 minutes left on this zone, and I think this next circle is going to be where you start to see some people move around a bit more.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I mean, you can afford to kind of spend some extra time looting and absorbing some blue damage. You probably won't have a problem finding meds to help deal with that damage, to help mitigate it. So definitely going to be keeping our eyes out for that. Really curious to see how Shroud and company are going to navigate all this. I think for now they're just having a little bit of fun.
Yeah, I really think
they found
they are.
somebody.
He's trying to run them over. I love the efforts here.
Oh my God.
We got a bunch of vehicles trying to make the kills, and it's funny because a crossbow here would be incredibly strong. There's a little bit of friendly fire out. Shroud getting down wicked.
Is he just gonna finish him? Oh, okay. I saw there's a pan kill from somebody on their team too, so they are fighting early and fighting often. I like it. Might as well go out on a bang, like you said, dude.
You know, this is a fun map to kind of end the tournament overall in. It's a little more loose. It's a little bit more whimsical. And what's kind of funny, in the event that we run into it, we can talk about the additional rules and the tiebreakers. And one of the final tiebreaker points is the placement in the last game of the tournament, which would be the Demolition Derby. So, you know, something to take into consideration if you're in those kind of areas where you think you might run into a tie, but it all boils down to this map, and we'll have to see what happens. But Pentel here just jumping around on the C-cans here. I believe there was
just play
Team Terran here not too long ago, if memory serves correct, on kind of the north side of those C-cans. But looks like people just getting some information here, trying to get the vehicles that they want. You're going to probably see the teams run at least 2+ vehicles, if not 3 to 4.
Spike these bridges, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to bring 4 if you can. Like, if possible, you want that many. It's just going to be really advantageous in the later stage of this game. Now, there are a lot of teams and players kind of running each other over and getting involved in fights, but this team right here, they still have a lot to play for. They would love to get that first place and see if they can
Cube looks good.
topple Cat Conti's team out of first as they stand there right now. But already, like you can take the esports mode out of the game, but you can't take the esports mode out of the player. Like Pentalol is literally out there doing recon and stuff, and I'm like, does that really matter in this game mode that much? Like,
Just dodge the drive there, and I got mixed up on that last call that it was still Team Terran that was in the Seacans there, and it looks like Summit gets knocked down and he's gonna get finished, and everybody's just thirsting for that kill. And that's the thing, if you go down in the middle of a field, you can pretty much expect that you're gonna die shortly thereafter, and it looks like they're down Summit for the final map, and I don't think he's going to be coming back here. So you're going to see a bunch of drives. Will he be able to knock him down? He does. Simply Matthias going down and getting finished by Shroud. That's another point onto the team. I'm not sure how many kills they're on, but they've effectively, at this point, 100% increased their point score.
no doubt about it. And then they're having some fun along the way. So nice job there, knocking that motorcycle out. Now, the motorcycles are deceptive. They actually are kind of heavy in this game, so they can kind of spin cars out, but they got it at a good angle and knocked the player out of the seat and were able to run him over. But they do lose another player, so they're going to continue on their merry way over to Cat Conti's team, and I expect them to avoid any fighting as best as they can in the early part of this game.
Yeah, they're sitting pretty. They don't have to be too aggressive here. And again, you know, intel is everything. I'm sure they're closely watching the kill feed here, and they know who is on, you know, the different teams and what they have to be looking out for. And they're going to get a rough idea as to, okay, the team 2 is getting a little bit of some kills here. We need to step it up type of thing. But until then, they can kind of just play it easy breezy. They can be patient with it, play more about the finish on the map rather than the kills. They don't really need to do anything astronomical, so just really get positioned, get in deep, get the utility that you want, and get ready for a strong finish.
Yeah, 100%. Just really curious how well they're going to be able to manage it, how well they've kind of thought about how this late stage part of the game will go, what they've got in the trunks of these cars, all those things. Definitely going to come into play. Also, digging the U.S. skins that they've got going there. The Winter Wonderland, very beautiful there. As we look over back towards, you know, it could be interesting though. Terran's team, who's in second, is kind of on the other side of the bridge that maybe Cat's team is going to cross. We'll see how wide they go though.
Yeah, they're going to have to move. It does look like the second circle did go north end on the top end of the map there, so they will have to cross a bridge. Now, there is a few bridges that they could choose from. I don't know exactly off the top of my head, but I think there's about 4-ish that you can go into the northern end with, and it does look like they pick up a tier 3 armor, which feels pretty nice at this stage of the game, and they are looking like they're probably happy with where they are, being on the north end of the water. That's really the main thing, getting across that bridge, not getting caught there. I can only imagine if you took too long, you might get caught by the spike strips, but you're going to see here a bunch of grenades going out, and he did, in fact, cock that grenade and ended up clipping one, I believe. Well played.
Yeah, no, this is not going well for the team we're looking at it for Kraken FPS, but their opponents are feasting. Just absolutely cleaning up some big kills there. You know, prepping those grenades. You can cook the frag grenades for a little bit on the way in. Got to be careful, of course, because they will eventually explode in your hand if you cook them too long. You can cancel if you've already started cooking it. A lot of people might not be aware, but you can put the grenade back in as we look to maybe have melee duel potentially. I don't know what they're doing here. Just looking for more meds, I guess.
It's so like humorous about someone breaching a house with a pan out. And they're just ready to throw down, like with kitchenware, you know.
I mean, he's got the right outfit for it, I think. You know, just like no, it is amazing. I mean, you got to be ready for anything. So, good news is there's a little bit of extra health, and there's even a frag grenade on the ground there. So, could be pretty nice here for Mireille. And yeah, back over to Terran. I'm really curious if they have spotted Cat Conti's team, and if they have, if they've been able to kind of piece together that it is Cat's team. But for now, I don't see anything on their screens that really indicates that necessarily.
Yeah, no, it looks like they're just trying to get a little bit of information. We can see the overhead shot here showing where all the teams are. Everybody's pretty well situated. We got one up in Severny there that's just hanging out. Some people just playing the hills for right now, keeping that information strong. Nobody really having to move too much other than Wicked. He's going to have to head out Yasnaya, but he's got a pretty clear shot going in and around the water and even across the bridge. If he does choose to go across that bridge, though, there is actually a team on that west side of the bridge that could cut him off. Hopefully he goes around the north end. We got Terran here just slowly moving along here, trying to get his vehicle up and over the hill, back into the zone and back to his teammates there. They're sitting pretty on that west side. Nobody really having to do anything too crazy right now. Again, this should be a field finish, so we should see some vehicles fly and a bunch of demo crashes.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We're just kind of waiting because a couple of these teams who still have a chance at winning this event are going to absolutely take the time. In the meantime, let's do some breakdancing. Let's go.
A little break dance.
They're in first place. Yeah, nice. And they're out in first place, just styling. This is like, all right, we already got this.
Yeah, we were mentioning, I don't think they're too pressured right now. I think they're happy with where they are. They're just chilling. They're hanging out. They're waiting. They're probably, again, watching the kill feed to see when they need to move and put a bit of pressure. But for now, they're playing position. They're happy with where they're at, as you can see.
Yep, no doubt about it. I just want to chill out and see what could be done. And Greg Shot's just up on the roof, just smacking away with the pan, just
stretching it out.
Just waiting. Yeah, getting warmed up, getting ready for those home run hits.
Yeah, everybody's just kind of hanging out, waiting for the next circle. I think that's going to be the biggest tell as to when people start to move again. Until then, utility, and you can kind of even see just with the crossbow there, happy with where you're at, just looking for the grenades as you can. And I wonder how many people are going to have C4s towards the end. I think I only saw the one with the C4 so far, but I think that's going to play really, really big. And you can see people running multiple melee weapons, and I think where that's going to come into play is potentially them throwing it as another projectile that they can use in addition to their crossbow.
Oh my god.
Exactly. Yeah, you're going to want to have it for that late game situation.
I think we just saw 4 man.
I mean, I thought for a second there might be.
I don't know what
there are no Panzerfaust, I don't think. Okay, so
they're free.
There's the Panzerfaust in the game, but I don't think it's in this mode, so we're okay there. But I just don't know. This end game could be. You could convince me of about 40 different things right now of how it's going to play out, and I believe you. It was a run over. Halifax took out Shinboy, and they're still out of their vehicles. I mean, I think it's almost a little bit dangerous though to be running outside of your vehicle. Yeah, I think it's easier to get run over because you obviously don't have the guns to kind of thwart people as they drive at you.
I think the key thing is if you're going to move out of the vehicle, make sure you know where the next tree is. Unlike this one, right there, Roly-Poly being taken down by Shroud. He's loving this mode. You can just see it. He's just loving being able to run people over. He even got a TK earlier there, a little bit on Wicked, but I think he was able to bounce back, and it looks like Shroud's down to 1 player. They did have some contention at that team that was at the bridge, I believe, which is what I was mentioning as Wicked was coming out of Yasnaya, I believe, and I think he chose the bridge there. We didn't really get to see the entirety of the fight, but Shroud in a position here, and I think he's probably picked up a few kills on this one. It looks like he's going to go for some fun right there.
Yeah, he's
quite
looking
make
to
any difference.
Avenge his teammate. Yeah, it's kind of hard to take damage in those situations. You're just trying to spin him out and hope for the best. But there's just Terran's team has a compound. They're pretty center circle, and so they can kind of just chill for now. Love to get some kills along the way if possible, but it's going to be kind of tricky to find those as everybody else is sort of like, you can see they're already trying to figure out how they're going to play this. Like, do we try to set up for high ground and actually look for kills, or what's the play here? I don't know.
Yeah, it depends on how aggressive you want to get. I mean, a finish is a finish, but I'm sure that they're aware that, you know, the first place team there is the Cat Conti is not out of the game yet, so they know that they still need to make some sort of movement. And as it starts to get down, there's still 47 players left, so not too much pressure on them quite yet. I think this is where the game starts to speed up. You got about a minute left on phase 4, and then you're going to see where that next circle is, and I think that that's where we're going to start seeing a lot more action, and probably a lot of people holding on to those utility, the grenades, the mollies, the the
You need to
BZs,
improve
whatever
your
else you may
car
see.
safe,
Should I
but-
play with yours?
Yeah,
Here?
yeah. Let's see. As just it's just a wait and see game at this point to see,
Oh, true. Yeah, yeah.
you know, how this last circle is going to look, what they can do
I
with
think
it.
our southwest is
I'm
full clear. I'm pretty sure
very,
I'm
very
gonna leave
curious,
this.
but yeah, I mean, this has been a great day for everybody. A lot of fun has been had. Even the teams that maybe didn't, you know, play all that great. Hey, still, no matter what, you show up, you still make some
Don't get me
cash.
jealous.
So
Yeah.
definitely looking, you know, come out here, have some fun. That's what it's all about. I mean, I'm just happy to see Shroud in there having a blast. He was really into it. Not sure if he's still alive in this one or not, but
I mean, it is
Oh,
the
if she hits
Twitch
this.
rivals in 2024 on PUBG. So it's a pretty throwback nostalgia feel with the OG Erangel and the atmosphere in which it brings and the different weather that we may see. It's been fun playing it. That since it's been launched back on the 14th for PC, I believe it was. The 14th on PC, and again that runs until the 28th. So if you haven't jumped into the Erangel space yet on PC, now's your time. You got the 8th, and console is the 23rd to the 6th of June.
yeah, definitely get in. I mean, obviously you can set up your own custom games if you want to play this mode, if you want to try it out with your friends. It is pretty fun. There's also some other ways you can do it. You can do like race modes, and with custom games, the options are endless in PUBG. So certainly get involved, have some fun, play some PUBG. Still a great game as Terran just continues the waiting game, continues a little bit of a looky see.
Yeah, I got a
Maybe
6
saw
times,
somebody
I
out there.
think.
Yeah.
Times on the crossbow.
Rapid.
Good intel and taking the shot. You know, the drop on the crossbow is pretty drastic. You could throw to such. Even so, this is going to be able to give you a lot of intel before move. There's some pretty the position.
Yeah, I mean, I have no idea what the actual theoretical maximum range is on a crossbow. I'm super curious about that now that I start thinking about it. Like these weird game modes start having me ask a bunch of questions in my head that I've never had to ask before with PUBG. Like crossbow, how far can it actually go? I don't know. Maybe it can go, you know, a couple 100 meters. I'm not exactly sure, but now the phase 5 circle is there. It just is going to go into the field. So it's kind of going to be, more about if you hit this, I will lose my mind. Yeah, there you go. That did not go super far. Maybe 120 meters on that, 120 yards on that shot. And you can see he just kind of gave up. You don't want to waste too many of those bolts. They're pretty valuable right now as we're getting a little bit of information, a little bit of action here on this southern side. Cdome looking for, I mean, there's no way in heck he's hitting that shot. I mean, if he hits that, it's like the best PUBG shot of the year.
Innate for me, Kat.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Now, the bicycles, yeah, the bicycles could be good here. Of course, another item that got added to PUBG.
Okay.
You can ride those around. You can put them in your backpack. So that's a nice pickup. 14 cat cots. Either stick it by cover in case there are cars that drive by them. You can run to a tree. Use that to kind of protect yourself from getting run over. That's something a lot of players you'll see in the beginning of games do. Maybe if you don't get the car and your opponent does first, you can just run to the tree. Just kind of play ring around the rosy. Keep those trees to keep you safe. But had a little bit of trouble with Zegers. He dropped out for a moment. He should be back soon. We'll get him back. Don't worry, chat. He hasn't gone anywhere. Just
my bad.
little bit of a tech difficulty there as they're just playing around with the car, having a little bit of fun. Again, survival, the name of the game, of course, for Cat. They're just watching their opponents, just seeing what they're going to do. And Drassel's got that machete. He's ready to rock and roll, ready to go for the samurai showdown. And we're just really waiting. How are there 43 people still alive? I mean, look at this circle. It's all just cars. On the north side, just an absolute mess over here. I don't even know how you're supposed to get kills, but our two top teams are just avoiding to get involved in this Demolition Derby. They're just hiding in the corner. Team Choco Taco might have something to say about it. Cat's team might have to make a move.
Speaking of something to say, I gotta say this, Paper Thin.
Yes.
This is definitely the Demolition Derby we were hoping for.
Yeah, I mean, it is about what I anticipated, that we're going to be late in the game with just about 1 million cars driving around, just trying to find some kind of space, whatever kills they can.
Absolutely. I will say this has been like it's too bad that Shroud is no longer in, because this just seems like a bumper car delight waiting to happen, and here we all have it in this observation mode. I can't even imagine the kind of chaos that they're experiencing down on the ground.
Yeah, I just feel like I'm back at home at the county fair, just watching cars run into each other and everybody having a good time. So this is definitely what you want. I want to see somebody get like a driving headshot kill with the crossbows. That's what I want.
I agree to agree. I will say the machete's doing it for me to a certain degree, but my gosh, this is just one of those moments where I'm not even sure quite what to think, if I'm being clear. Look at this.
It's okay. Me neither.
Good. Okay, cool. And it's going to be sort of the ride of the Valkyries here in a hot second. Can you see this? Like, I mean, like, oh, here we go.
I love it. I love it. Yes. Queue up the
and actually, you were saying that there might be some of these that the gas is random, so there might be some issues where some of these cars could be running out of gas here as they just idle in the middle of the map.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you drive around too much, you're going to run out of gas. So certainly a lot of these teams and players that, you know, are kind of in the middle of the standings and just looking for kills, whatever kills they can get, they might run out of gas and not realize it until it's too late, having a little too much fun. But now, go Conti's team. They got taken out by the crossbow. Oh, they got to start moving. They're trying to protect it, but no. It's actually Kat's grenade that takes her teammate out. Oh no, they get hit by another grenade. This is going bad.
Oh my god, this is definitely not what they were hoping for, but it is, as Eager said earlier, the equalizer we were all hoping for but did not deserve.
All right. Well, she's trying to get these heals off. The bandies you can use in the cars, and she is going to do so, but cooking the grenade. Gonna go for it. The grenade a little bit behind, I think.
Yep. Come on, buddy. Let's make this happen.
I love it. I love this. This is just absolutely wild. His final circle gonna be really small. I'm still curious if anybody has a C4 left, because that's gonna be huge.
36 still alive here, and that circle is getting awfully close. At what point does it turn into a parking lot is my question.
Yeah, no, that's it. I don't think we're too far away from that. Oh, but they're getting kills. They're getting knocks. Oh, that's huge. That's huge. That sets them apart so much more from Terran's team. It puts pressure on them to start getting kills.
Oh, I lost my tires.
Man alive, this is one of those. This is one of those final circles that just does not quit from beginning to end. Oh, here we go. First fire here.
Oh, it's a C4. Huge explosion. Just got a bunch of kills. Now the grenades are really proving their worth. And everybody just trying to cook those, find those moments to let them loose. This is just absolute chaos.
The Model T I really appreciate here. The McLaren is great, but the Model T really showcases some strength, some skill, as these cars just continue in the most random of directions. It's also, can I say, Paper, that a little bit like shooting fish in a barrel.
Oh, yeah, especially when you have C4, it just kills everybody, and now you get 3 kills. All these knocks are on the ground, and you can just absolutely feast. Oh my god, and the blue zones are everywhere. Oh, this is just insanity. Everybody is dying. Oh, another C4, but no one home for it.
Nice.
Oh my god, what is going on? Oh my god, Zeger's back?
No, I'm just taking a look at Zeger. Are you back? No, maybe not. We'll see.
Maybe not. No, it's okay. I thought I might have heard his voice, but it.
No.
Oh my god, there's
10
not
more
many
seconds.
players left. Yeah, 9 players.
You can probably crossbow.
I can't believe this many. I can't believe. Actually, I thought more would be alive coming into this last circle. This is actually surprising me that there's only 9 alive.
Yeah, and that makes complete sense, especially since everybody's just finding their way through these. Oh, there's the Donald Duck. Well done, sir. Okay. There's the Model T I was looking for. My gosh,
Just built
9.
different.
Just built
different.
Wow. Okay, here we go. Let's find out what these last 9 are going to do. And this is also something fun to remember, that some of these cars, I'm assuming, are going to be, you know, just waiting there, abandoned. Please no one abandon the McLaren because that'll make my heart hurt. But here we
Yeah,
are.
that was a little pricey.
Come
Let's
on.
see. Oh, come on.
What is...
He's trying to spin him out. I think he's trying to push him out into the blue. I think
Wow.
that's actually his strategy here now. Like when you're
There-
trying to
yeah.
like drive cars into the wall in Demolition Derby, you're just trying to push them into the blue. Oh, look at the blue zones.
I mean, just come on.
How are there people still alive now? There's like 6 alive. How many teams are left? Oh, he's trying to go for the pan. Oh, he got hit by the molly.
Yeah. Here we go. Vegas is still going for it. That team is still alive, still going. Oh, here we go.
Oh, he got the flush. He
wanted
got the
that.
flush. I like it. I like it. Let's see if he can find any more. He's still got 10 bolts. Takes forever to reload the crossbow, but I think it's him and 3 others. Maybe a 1v1v1. Oh, just a little bit off.
Come on, buddy.
He's got
We're
this, I
all
believe.
hoping for you.
Does anybody have any grenades? I don't think so. I think this is
No.
down to just crossbows and driving.
Yeah, I was going to say, at what point do you start to use that car as your weapon?
Oh,
Here we
he
go.
pushed him in the blue. Oh, he got
No!
it. He got it.
Vegas. My God.
The laughing
Oh.
makes it worth it. The laughing makes it worth it.
Wonderful news for all. My gosh, if you were hoping for that kind of photo finish in the McLaren, well, I'm delighted to have gotten that with you. This, of course, Twitch rival.